Shalom. We're picking it up where we left off. And these are precepts concerning Isaiah chapter 3, verse 5. Okay. And we were picking up where we left off. And Judah shall not vex Ephraim, for the time is coming when the brothers, as of now, are coming together, and inside the camps, and even outside the camps, the brothers are coming together of the northern and the southern kingdom, are not vexing one another or anything of that nature, because this is the time when the bow and the arrow comes together to be as one force to go against who? Esau is Edom. You see, Jeremiah chapter 9, verse 3. And they band their tongues. You see, bind their tongues, pushing this truth. Bind their tongues like their bow for lies. And this is talking about, let's read further. But they are not valiant for the truth upon the earth, for they proceed from evil to evil, and they know not me. Now we talking about those of the Esau is Edom, the heathens, and the 2/3. They know not the Lord, but they have bound their tongues in lies, and we have bound together our tongues in truth. You see, and that's what we do as fanners of this truth. You see, and so saith the Lord. Jeremiah chapter 9, verse 4. Take ye heed, everyone, of his neighbor. You see, of your neighbors. Watch your neighbors. And trust ye not in any brother. You see? Trust ye not in any brother. We talking about even your blood brother. You see, even your blood brother. Because during these times, and even during the time of Jacob's troubles, even your own blood brother can mislead you and lead you astray and cause you to be in a situation, and that can be a complete hell, you see, and can cause you to make the wrong decisions. You see, these things are happening. For every brother will utterly supplant. That means be as a trickster, a conniving, a scheming, of that nature against you. Not for you, but against you. So that means you have to watch the things that your brother will say, because he's not saying things to your best interest. He's saying things to his best interest, you see. And every neighbor will walk with slanders, you see. Even your neighbors will be slandering their tongues against you, you see, as our neighbors do against us, you see. But we keep it stepping, we keep it on moving, you see. Verse 5, and they will deceive everyone his neighbor, you see. These things are coming upon the earth. And these things are going to be done because during the time of Jacob's troubles, it's going to be so much chaos and different things going on. What are the different tricks and different games and different things that people are going to play on one another are going to be life-threatening games, you see, because people are going to be hungry. They're not going to have any food, and they're not going to want to see their children starve, you see, and will not speak the truth, you see. They'll lie and say you stole something just so they can develop a right to attack you and your house, you see, in front of your other neighbors, so that way they'll think it's okay, you see. The same way the young fellas like to lie on the old man and say he stole something, and then they walk up and sucker punch the old man and beat him down to the ground, leave him laying there like he dead, and they'll stomp and kick his head and face. They'll stomp him out and then run his pockets and walk away, knowing that they was lying. But this is what people are going to be doing, you see, on an alarming rate, even thy own neighbor, you see. They have taught their tongue to speak lies, you see. That means this is something that they developed, at first they wasn't talking like that, but all of a sudden they start doing that, wearing themselves to commit iniquity, you see. That means that they're going to be pushing themselves to do the iniquity, the different things that they're going to be doing that are going to be wrong and against the Lord, you see. Yahushua. Verse 6, thine habitation is in the midst of deceit, you see, and some dwell as such. always being in a deceitful air about themselves. Through deceit, they refuse to know me. You see, and they don't know the Lord at all. But they'll try to profess out of their tongue that they do, but they don't. Saith the Lord. You see, verse 7, therefore, thus saith the Lord of hosts, behold, I will melt them. Melt. The Lord says melt. He will melt them. Melt. He's going to melt them. You see, they shall be fuel for the fire. You see, because some people are just set for what? Nuclear warfare. When the time comes, they're gonna make it through the different pestilence and different things just so they can be burnt up by Yahweh, by Shem Yahushua. You see, and that's just some of the way it's going to be. You see, and try them. You see, for every man is going to be tried. You see, and the 50 of and the captain of 50 and all that are going to be tried. For how shall I do for the daughter of my people? You see, how? You see, verse 8. Their tongue is as an arrow shot out, coming straight forward, lies and wickedness. It speaketh deceit. One speaketh peaceably to his neighbor with his mouth, but in heart, how layeth his weight? You see, in his heart layeth await what? Deceit, mischief, all types of anarchy and different things, and hatred and envy. You see, these things that people have. You see, so you see. Jeremiah chapter 22, verse 17. But thine eyes and thine heart are not but for thy covetousness, because people are going to desire the things of one another, thy neighbor, because especially when you see that they got food. And one neighbor see another neighbor got food. Because remember, the guys are going to be going after, when everything's shut down, they're going to be going after they're going to remember the old women, senior citizen that was going to get that hope, that focus hope food. And then they're going to remember the women with kids was getting the wick and food stamps. And they remember all the guys that were sitting on their front porch smoking weed and chilling and stuff, watching their neighbors. That's what they were doing, watching their neighbors, looking at their neighbors' habits. You see what I'm saying? They're going to remember that their neighbors got food. You see, and so it's sedition amongst men. 2nd Ezra chapter 15, 2nd Ezra chapter 15, sedition amongst men is what's going to happen. One man is going to be invading another. You see, because they're going to be needing food. You see. But thine eyes and thine heart are not but for thy covetousness. You see. Let's read on. For to shed innocent blood. Right. They're going to be to shed innocent blood. They're not going to care. They're not going to have mercy. They're going to be going into people's houses, beating men, women, and children, and killing them and raping them. You see. Well, the same thing that you see going on inside the war-torn areas now, overseas, are the same thing that's going to be happening here in America. That's what